So my 3 questions for this space guy. How did you find about virtual reality? How did you come across, the Quest? Somebody invited you to try it? Was it in a shopping center? Did you see it on YouTube? A friend of yours had it. How did you come up with this, technology?
Well, 2 of my friends actually, they had it first. The Oculus Quest 2, they introduced it to me. They were initially playing the game called Onward, the tactical first-person shooter, VR. And so I wanted to get in on that, and so I purchased the Oculus Quest 2. Yes. To play that game. That's how I found out about it.
Okay, so it was a friend, right? And it was through video games. Okay, so the second question
Correct.
is, what are you doing now with your Quest? I know that you play Onward and that you are on VRChat. What else?
Yes.
Do you do work on the VR headset? Do you plan to maybe do something that will give you money? Do you want to study some more VR? Do you watch videos, experiences? What else do you do on VR?
Well, I play like a few games, sure, outside of VRChat. Like they have Contractors, Onward, sometimes Pavlov Shack. Really those 3 games, but I seldom do play them. I mainly just play VRChat. That's the main game that we all play on, really.
My last question is, what do you think about virtual reality? Do you think it's the future? It's here to stay? It's good, bad, or yeah?
Well, I do certainly think that virtual reality is here to stay. I think it's good, but, too much of a good thing is always bad. I think people should, spend their time elsewhere and not not delve too much into the metaverse, But yes, I see it as a fun and positive way for people to socialize at times. Correct. But, you should always be responsible in whatever platform that you find yourself spending time in. And, Facebook has delved so much money into the metaverse, so it's certainly here to stay. That amount of investment isn't going anywhere. Absolutely not. And I think VR is just growing every single day. VRChat is growing all the time. There's always new people popping up. So yeah.
How long do you spend on VRChat? A day or a week or?
Usually, I don't get on VR most of the day. Usually at night. I get on at night. That's when all my friends are usually on. That's when I spend time with them. Yeah. No one's really on during. I don't know. It's good. That's when I usually met them, or that's when I met them. Was during the late hours of the day. That's when I get on. Sometimes I get on during the day though, but not as much.
And these friends of yours, are they all online, or do you know them in the real world?
Currently, all the friends that I know in VRChat, yeah, they're all online. I don't know any of them in the real world. But that doesn't underestimate their value to me. Not at all. They're good friends, and I love seeing them every day.
Can you see the difference between a virtual friend and a real friend?
Not so much, I would say. There's emotionally, I think you can make a connection. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same platonic connection that you can make with a friend that you meet in real life. It's a social space. You speak with each other as you do IRL. But there are certainly some differences, of course. Well, you can't exactly invite your friend to go eating or, go out, go to the mall, go to the city, walk around. The differences really are just physical. But emotionally, it's the same thing, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, people spend hours with each other, so that has to count for something. That's not just a fake friend, you know. So it's a real emotional connection that you make with people, something that we all share. So I find it to be quite valid. Yes.
So you don't need to go outside, kind of like you come into this virtual world. You've got your friends. You can travel. You can go see beautiful places. You can play. So you don't feel the need to go outside.
Well, not exactly. You should always go outside, of course. Too much of one thing is bad. I'm saying that there's little differences in what constitutes as a real life friend and a friend that you meet online, because you can both, make that, sort of platonic emotional connection with each other. But it's very important to go outside as well. Yes. It's also important to make friends outside of the online space. There's yeses and nos to both.
So when you go outside,
there's yeses and nos to both.
So when you go outside, what makes you feel like, with your eyes? Let's say you spend 4 hours in VR and then you have to go outside. Do you see a difference with your eye muscles of adjusting to the light or to...
Well, certainly, yeah. When you're outside, there's not much strain to your eyesight as opposed to having your headset on your head. So if you have your headset on for, a long periods of time, it could be damaging to your eyesight. It's blue light after all. So, yeah.
So how long you've had the Quest?
It's been 2 years, I think. I think I've had this for 2 years, I believe. A little under 2 years. I don't exactly remember. Yeah.
Okay, so in these 2 years, you play Onboard, VRChat.
Yeah.
Contractors. And you still haven't been bored of the Quest. Do you think that this technology is entertainment? It's a gaming device that it's just for entertainment? It's not for work?
Well, that depends on what your job is. I mean, if you're a developer, if you work on games, you work on avatars, let's just say, then I suppose it's work. But for the vast majority like me, it's for fun. And no, I haven't really gotten bored with any of the games. With VRChat, VRChat especially, because you have so many people to talk to. There's so many people, so many interesting things to see. A lot of worlds are always popping up. You can hardly get bored. It only gets boring when you don't, when you're spending time by yourself, I guess. But I usually like spending time with a lot of people. Yeah, so I never get bored. No.
Do you think that this application, VRChat, could help people that normally don't talk to people, that have social anxiety? Can they start learning how to talk to people and, get used to it?
Yes, most certainly. It's like a step-by-step process in getting over your fears. And I think by opening up and speaking to people on virtual reality and VRChat, it'll help you get better in speaking to people in real life. It'll help with your confidence, I think. Especially if you're having, hard time in opening up IRL. it's easier, I suppose, online because, well, after all, you're anonymous. No one knows who you really are. You can say whatever you want under a mask with little to no consequence. So, using this ground as a practice space and speaking to people, I would say, is a good way in overcoming that anxiety. Yeah. But of course, I mean, you need to apply practice in real life as well. It's very important. After all, that's where the vast majority of your where you're gonna govern your future stakes are gonna be at, what you're gonna do. It's what's gonna determine everything else. As I said, that's not gonna happen here in VR because anything that you do has little consequence. So
here in
real life
VRChat, there's no consequences, there's no regulation, there's nothing. So anybody can do whatever they want.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, of course, there are regulations, I suppose. Like, yeah, there are rules, what you can do, but people oftentimes they get away with it, and there are easy workarounds around it. So people hardly pay for what they do. So yes, in a way, you can pretty much do whatever you want, good or bad.
Do you have a story to tell us, like, anonymous, don't say any names, but something that happened, like somebody did something bad and got away with it?
Something bad and got away with it. Yeah. Let's see. Well, let me think.
You don't have to say any names, or even a story that you've heard, that this person was impersonating blah, 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 and then was doing this, and then, the moderators or whoever found out, banned the account, and, he was able to make another account, or she, or, I don't know.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I do have a story. I'm trying to think of a way to word it correctly without being obvious. So, there was this one person, okay, my friend, person A, and her friend, person B. Person B would, they were best friends. They were best friends for the longest time. Person B said some things, disagreeable things to person A. Person A, she blocked him. I think. Yeah, she blocked him. Person B, whoops, sorry, my controller. Person B proceeded to harass her, making new accounts. Using proxy accounts, I guess. I don't know, using people as proxy to bother her. Send her unwarranted messages and stuff like that. Harassment. And as well as, there's also a myriad of things that I was told about this person B. Like, he would harass people, blackmail them, and, force unwarranted sexual advancements, of which, they'd be blackmailed to do. So, I guess he kind of got away with it, I suppose. I mean, not really. He lost all of his friends. Now he's a depressed bundle of mess. No one likes him. He's gone. Everyone has unfriended this person, blocked him even. But in terms of real life consequence as actually getting in trouble, I've yet to hear anything about that. So, yeah, that's the story.
Okay, so we hear sexual harassment here in VRChat. How did that happen?
There's a lot.
And he says it so naturally. Oh, yeah, there's a lot. Okay.
course.
Okay.
People think they can do whatever they want, and they do it anyways. The only thing that we can do in this game is to block them, really. The only thing that you can do. Report them, sure, but I don't know how far that's going to get. But,
so it is a little bit safer here. I mean, if there's harassment in the real world, harassment then leads to even murder. Whereas here in VRChat, there's no physical contact, so you get harassed and then block them and everything. But it would be really hard, isn't it, to get physical contact with that person?
Very hard, yeah. Unless you give that person, like personal information, where you live, etc. But, that's pretty much the gist of it. They can't. There's nothing they can do physically to harm you. Only emotionally. But I think that's, I don't know. I feel it to be quite complicated to navigate because, there's so many situations where that person can be. Like, let's just say that this person who harasses them all the time is a part of a friend group, right? The same friend group, and you don't want to necessarily block this person because, it'll just make things awkward, I suppose, with everybody else.
Yeah.
That's just an example, I think. But, yeah, I think the only way to go about it is to block that person and never associate with, don't associate with anyone that person is good with, if that's what you want. Yeah.
Okay, and my last thing that I would like to ask you is about your avatar. So I'm having a little bit of a trouble looking at you. Your eyes are going everywhere. Your facial, it's not very nice. I don't know, I don't like your avatar, right? But I like what you say, right? And it's interesting what you're saying, but I just keep looking at your avatar and I'm not liking what I see. Do you think that, why would you take this avatar if you know that people don't like it? Why would you? Why would you get like everyone does the big guys and the cute things? I mean, why?
Cute thing. Well, I mean, there's I think it's like an issue with different systems. You're on PC, so for you it might look different. It definitely looks a lot more, a lot different than what I'm seeing right now. I think that's it. It's just a difference in systems. Yeah, it looks better for me on Quest than it does for you on PC. I think. I don't know what you're seeing.
You have no expressions. You've been having the same look. You do open your mouth, you blah blah blah. You can see that you're talking, but there's no expressions of little bit. And it's just really awkward, and I'm just totally interested that you've been playing VRChat for 2 years and you had a whole selection of avatars and you end up choosing this one. So tell us why this one?
This one in particular, I like Star Wars. I like Star Wars avatars, the Star Wars aesthetic. This one is an Imperial officer, so I like mainly the clothes. To be honest, the face doesn't look that bad. I know it does not look good on PC at certain times, but it's just, I'm not really much. I don't really like the other avatars too much, but I have a couple more. This isn't just my only one.
Okay.
Oh, look, Star Wars. Look, you got a stormtrooper.
Yeah. Now we're talking. Right? So now I'm kind of like your level, isn't it? Like, how did you see me now? Like this, and you're like that, and I'm like this, and what do you think?
I think you are. I think it looks good. Yeah, Stormtrooper. Looks like our themes have matched.
Okay.
Good. Now we're in the same universe.
Now we're
But
friends.
yeah, this isn't the only avatar that I use. Haven't we
Well,
already been?
I asked you, this is for the interview, and you have to find something that kind of like that you want to be shown at, right? And you chose this avatar.
Right.
You have a mirror. You know how you look, how your eyesight is, and you're okay with that.
Yes.
And I'll go like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, this cat.
Oh,
This cat is looking at me.
come on, it doesn't look that bad. Oh yeah, I can see
It's
it.
it's a bit
down
freaked
there.
out because of my how big I am. Maybe I don't know. It's freaky. It's freaked out the cat.
Pity. Yeah. But, it doesn't look that bad in my opinion. Maybe just in this world. I can always change. I got a bunch.
No. It's not up to me. It was you. This is how you're gonna look. This is Yeah. You chose this one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Chose my white ISB Imperial officer uniform.
Okay, boss. Tell us what to
Yeah.
do. Okay, let's go. Where are we going?
Oh, has the interview ended?
Yes. Thank you very much. Now I
Yeah.
know. You chose this avatar because you like Star Wars, nothing else.
I like Star Wars.